I'm going to show you exactly how you can purchase property with no money, just using equity from a property, and that might be a property you don't even own. And so I'm going to show you exactly how that works with some numbers. I'm going to go through a calculator that you can use as well, and I'll link it in the description box below. But I'll also use my whiteboard to just illustrate the point so we can visually see how this actually works. If you're interested in what my thoughts are, definitely keep watching. Hey guys, my name's Ravi and welcome back to Personal Finance with Ravi Sharma. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button because I talk about real estate, personal development, and all things financial freedom. Now, right now, you might be in a position where you are saving a lot of money and you're saying, okay, I'm continuing to save, property prices continue much higher, but then eventually I get to the point where I can buy something. I go and buy something after 6-7 years of saving, and now what? How do I purchase the next one? And the one after that? This is one of the most frequently asked questions, and this is why I want to cover it off. Give you some real clear examples, make it super easy to understand, and I'll show you exactly how you can scale it up as well. Now, the first thing I'll get you to do is to actually check out this calculator. So we're gonna go across here, and all you need to do is look up search property. You can click here, and it'll come to our buyer's agency page. You can see some results here. We'll go through, and what we wanna do is go to resources, and there's so much free content here, so definitely go ahead and use it. I also make blogs, so if you're someone that doesn't really like going ahead and watching these videos, you can go ahead and check out the blogs as well. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here into calculators. Now we've got a few here. We've got tax depreciation, home equity, borrowing capacity, retirement planning, and compound interest. Definitely go and spend some time here. Again, I'll link it in the description box below. But what we're gonna check out is home equity, and we're gonna check out compound interest. In this case, we're gonna go ahead with the one property. Let's assume we buy a property for $550,000. Our mortgage balance at 90% is $500,000. Our maximum LVR is 90% because that's 90% of the value. And here we're just going to put 6.5% as an interest rate and 30-year loan term, which is pretty standard. If I had another property, and I'll show you that example as well, we could add one. But in this case, I just want to calculate the equity. What we can see here is that at 90% LVR, we are maxed out. We actually have no equity available to us. What we can see is equity percentages are 9.1%, which is actually not what you need to be. However, this starts changing as you're in the market for longer. Let's say you purchased this 2 years ago, and for just argument's sake, we're gonna say 10% growth. So we say 550, it goes up by 55,000 in year one, because that's 10%, and then in year two, it's gonna be about $60,000. So in total, it's gone up by $105,000. So this property now would be worth $655,000. Now our mortgage here is going to still stay the same because we're not paying any of our debt down. Most people are going with an interest-only loan, and in this case, we're gonna say, okay, how much equity do I have? Well, what we can now see is at 80%, we unlock 24,000, and at 90%, we unlock 89,500. And this means that if I want to go and take this loan to another bank, or I wanna get an equity top-up, I can say I want at 80%, I want a top-up. And they'll give me $24,000, which I can then use to either renovate the property, uplift it in value, or I could say I'm gonna use this in addition to my savings to be able to go ahead and purchase my next one. Or equally, I'm happy to go at 90%, and some lenders actually go, well, yes, you're gonna have to pay LMI, but because you paid LMI on the first time, you don't have to pay it the second time. That's why you need a strategic mortgage broker that knows how that works. I'll leave a link in the description box for one. So in this case, if I say I'm gonna use 90%, I have pretty much enough money to go again. And this is the beauty of picking the right property. Because in this case, it may have taken me like 5 or 6 years to save for the first property. But in just 2 years, I now can purchase again. And where it gets really interesting is when it starts compounding. And I'm gonna show you that in a second. But let's say you go ahead and now purchase another property. So you say, okay, the second property I purchased is for about $600,000. I'm gonna borrow this at 90%, and the maximum LVR is 90, 6.5%, and 30. This won't change anything because again, as we know, the value has gone up, the loan balance has stayed the same, and that means we don't have enough equity. We only have the equity in the first property. Let's assume you bought this property, it's gone up for 2 years, and then you say, okay, well, I've now gone ahead and purchased property 2, and this property now I've held for 2 years. So in total, you've been in the game for 4 years. This property now, let's assume that the market's calmed down and everything went up just by 5%. Here we've got 600K, which means 600 times 5% is 30,000. Again, compound that and it's probably about 35,000. You've gone up by about $65,000. So this here would be now worth $665,000. And the value of this property here is going to continue going higher as well. So let's just assume you picked the right property because you did this with search property and it went up by another 10% over the next 2 years. And that would mean an extra $65,500. And that means this property is worth about $731,500. So now what we're going to do is we're going to calculate the equity after 4 years, having purchased the first property, then purchased another one 2 years later. Where are we at in 4 years' time? And what we can see is that our portfolio now is growing a lot faster. We've got at 80%, 85,000, and at 90%, we have 216,000. You can also see that we're not actually paying any of our debt down. However, our portfolio LVR has gone from 90% down to 74.5%. This is why it's important. Again, you pick the right properties, but also understand the game of debt. You need to understand which part of your strategy you're actually at. If you're in the acquisition phase, you don't care about debt. You're saying, how do I use more debt to acquire more real estate? Or how do I use more debt to acquire a bigger machine that's going to eventually give me what I want? If you're in the mindset of saying, well, I want to take on debt, but I also want to pay it off, I'm doing 2 things or 3 things at the same time, when in fact, you should only have one focus. Now, once you acquire all the property and you've been doing really well, then what you do is say, okay, I don't really care about acquiring more property because if I pay off these 2 properties, I can retire. What I want to do is actually go out and reduce my debt. So you go into debt reduction mode. And this is why a strategy is important because you will outperform other investors even if you have less money by picking the right properties and having the right strategy attached to it. So what we can see here is how it would look if we just went ahead, purchased 2 properties. Over the next 4 years, we're now building a portfolio quite quickly. Well, what I want to do, I want to see what this looks like with just 2 properties over the next 10 to 15 years. That's where we go to our other calculator. So we go here and we can go into the compound interest calculator. What we see is the initial deposit. So in this case, what we're saying is our portfolio, and our portfolio here is worth almost 1.4 million. So we're just going to round that up because it's easier. We're going to say there's no regular deposits. There's no deposit frequency. We're going to compound this annually. And we're going to say, I want to know what this is going to be worth in 20 years time. And we're going to use the average rate of 7%. Why 7%? Some years you'll get less than that. Some years you'll get more than that. Average for Australian property is 7.8%. So we're going to use 7% and be a little conservative. Now we go ahead and calculate growth. What we can see is a bunch of numbers that come through, and you can go ahead and if you want to see it visually, you can go here and see it visually, but we'll go through this in a second. In 20 years time, that 1.4 million is now going to be worth $5.4 million in 20 years time. This is just with 2 properties. And you could do that in the next 2 years. You go ahead, you purchase the first one, in the 3rd year, you purchase the next one, and you're sorted. You just wait for the market to do its thing. And what you can see here is how much we initially bought the property. So our portfolio was worth 1.4 million. That's all based on the growth we just saw, and then how much it actually goes up by and all the heavy lifting the market actually does. And you can see that clearly here is that the compounding nature of it is in the early years, it's compounding, but it's not by a lot. And by the end of it, you're compounding so much every single year, despite you not paying off any debt, as well as not actually going and purchasing more property. And here is the yearly breakdown. So if you're interested in how that all works, you can see in year 1, it's growing by $98,000, but this number continues to go higher and higher in terms of the rate of change. If you look at a very high level number, here at about 10 years, it's going up by 150,000, which is 50% more than year 1. That's why it's so important to understand how this works. So that's all well and good because that's macro. If you need help with finding the right property, I'll leave a link in the description box below for Search Property, the buyer's agency I run. And we have a team of 50 full-time staff with an office here in Macquarie Park, Sydney. So if you guys want to come and see us in person, you can also do that. Once you book in a call, have a free call, you can do that in person as well. Now, what we want to see is how does this actually work? I'll break it down for you now with my trusty whiteboard. Let's say you go ahead and purchase your first property and you're saying it's going to be worth $550,000. In order to save for this, I probably need about $90,000 to $110,000 to go and execute. And this here will take me about 7 years, if not less than that. And this is on the basis that you have no help. You're just going to go out there and save money. It might be that you're saving by yourself or with a partner, so this number could change. But let's say you do have the opportunity to go into the family house. So in some cases, you might have parents that have a property. And let's say that property is worth $1.5 million and the debt they have is $500,000. In this case, they have about $1 million in equity, but usable equity, and let's say they do that at 80% LVR, it means that they actually have $800,000 available to them right now. Now, if your parents were watching this video or you're like, hey, my parents could be really filthy rich here, what they could actually do is say, well, okay, with this 800K, I can go ahead and purchase multiple properties. Because if each property is now costing, let's assume 20% deposits and costs, is about $150,000 each, then that means I could pretty much go ahead and purchase about 3 properties in year 1, and then in year 2, I could use some of the equity and purchase the 4th one as well. Now they go from 1 property to 4 properties, and this is how you start acquiring wealth. But let's assume they don't want to do that and they say, okay, I'm happy for you to take some equity as a guarantee, and that will then act as a deposit. So what we have here is a deposit as part of a guarantee, and that means that you don't have to save that money. You've watched this video and said, okay, I can move right now, and I want to move fast because I want to be in the market for as long as possible. So what they say is they have 800K available. They're going to allow you to guarantee about 100K. That 100K is now available for you to use and buy that property that we discussed. So for $550,000, now you have property number 1. So this will be IP1. So you can see how in a normal situation, it might take you 5 to 7 years. If you have parents that have a property, you can guarantee it. You should definitely go check out this video. This is how it works, step by step, and you can show that to your parents if you like. And then in this case, they go ahead and say, I can just do this myself and purchase all these properties. Fantastic. Or I want to go and give you the deposit guarantee. You can purchase your first property. So let's say you do that in 2025. That means based on our example that we showed earlier, in 2027, this property now has gone up in value, and let's assume it's $650,000 because I don't remember the numbers we used earlier. And you say, okay, how much equity do I have? Well, I've got 500K as a loan, and that means I have $150,000, and you times that by 90% to figure out how much equity is available, and that works out to be $135,000. And you would use that to then go into your next property, maybe worth $600,000. And now you have the 2 properties that will allow you to get to that $5.5 million number that we explained earlier. You also have the other option of saying, I don't want to purchase again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this here to then detach the guarantee that my parents gave me. So this here will then be able to go in and detach this, which means your parents now have access to the 800K they initially had. And now you have that property for yourself, and you just wait another couple of years to have that growth to then go out and use that equity again. It's a very simple exercise, but you need to be structured the right way from the beginning. I've seen people get caught up in cross-collateralization and things like that when it comes to a mortgage broker and when you go to a bank, because it might be easier for them. But this is why it's important you get the right team around you. I hopefully have explained this in a very simple way, not just micro of how it works, but also macro of where this could end up being. Now, yes, that 5.5 is probably not worth 5.5 in 20 years time, but I just wanted to show you an example of how you can build huge amounts of wealth by just starting earlier. If you need any help with this, use the links in the description box below. If you've enjoyed this video, subscribe. And again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed this one. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys.